Hello, hello. Let me know if you can see and hear me, please. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for your patience. My couple minutes late. Hopefully this is working. um, so while I'm waiting, oh, thank goodness, I got my speedy, we can see and hear you. Thank you so much. So my name is Janet Wright, and I'm an energy healer, reader, and teacher, and anyone is welcome to watch this live stream. I will be doing energy healing for 100 people that are in 11 different countries, including 12 kids, ages 1 through 17. And so while I heal these 100 people, I will talk out loud and explain what I'm doing as I do it, so it makes a decent all levels walkthrough. We'll be healing auras, chakras, grounding, etc., 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 clearing energy blocks, all sorts of interesting things. The theme of the 3 healings, this is a set of 3 healings, today, Friday, March 5th, 2021, and then 2 days from now on Sunday, and 2 days from now on Tuesday. The theme of the 3 healings is end negative patterns. So I was calling it end negative repeating patterns, which repeating patterns is redundant. A pattern is a repeating thing. So anyway, my pattern is to be redundant. So anyway, the theme is end negative patterns. So it should be very interesting, because we're going to heal all sorts of things in order to help you to be more present, but then in order to end negative patterns that you're in, and I will say a lot of negative patterns, you don't know you're in them. Like maybe your friend knows some of your negative patterns that you don't realize you're in, or your spouse can see your repeating patterns, or your patterns, your negative patterns. But you may only be aware of your patterns sometimes, or some of them you're not aware of at all. Part of that is because they're patterns maybe that have been with you for many lifetimes, so you just have lost perspective on what it's like not to be in that pattern. So it should be really interesting. I am interested in knowing what people know are their negative patterns, but I'm also interested in, like, if people later realize once they've gotten out of a pattern, like, oh wow, I didn't even know I was in that one. So that it's really cool that way. And with energy healing, you don't have to have conscious knowledge of what you're clearing. That's sort of, I was gonna say that's the difference between energy healing and therapy, but that's not exactly true, because with good psychotherapy, you would over time become aware of patterns that you weren't initially aware of. So whatever. But with energy healing, there's absolutely no requirement for conscious knowledge. Because then hindsight's 2020. Once something's no longer a pattern for you, then you realize, like, oh wow, yeah. So you'll know once it's gone, probably, or people around you will know it's gone. You'll benefit. So you can clear them without knowing about them. Let's just say that. So the angel showed me a metaphor to help explain that, about like, if you have a car, say it's 4-wheel drive, like a little 4-wheel drive Jeep or something, and you're stuck in the mud, your Jeep is stuck in the mud, you want to know which, and just normal maneuvering doesn't get it out. Then you want to know which wheel is stuck, maybe. I'm not a Jeep specialist, but I would think you'd want to know which wheel is stuck and work on that wheel. Maybe, put some hard objects around it so it can get traction. So you want to know where you're stuck in order to get yourself out of the rut, right? And so with energy, with this type of healing, that's sort of the question in part, is where are you stuck so that you're in that rut? Because we can do overall clearing, and we probably will. But I was looking at, the angel showed me some sample people, and it did seem like a lot of people, sort of the wheel that was stuck in the rut was heart chakra. Change happens from the top down. People get present from the top down. Like when you wake up in the morning, your spirit, hopefully, if you have decent energy flow, you get in through your spirit. You as a spirit, you enter your physical body through this top energy center, your seventh chakra, and then hopefully you get into quite a few of these energy centers so that you're pretty present during the day, right? So when you look at, where am I stuck with this issue? You can intuit it that way. Like, am I stuck on a seventh chakra level? No, that's fine. Am I stuck on a sixth chakra level? No, that's fine. And just keep going down until you find where you're stuck about a certain problem or issue or situation. So anyway, that's why I was looking at some sample people that Angel showed me about the patterns they're stuck in. And it did look like they weren't stuck on a seventh, sixth, fifth level, either astral chakra or physical chakra, with getting out of these negative patterns, but they were stuck at the fourth chakra, getting out of these negative patterns that they had. And it seemed like a big contributing factor to that was the extra heaviness that they had taken on from their genetic families in this life. There was sort of a, I guess, dual weight. There was baggage that they had taken on from that they still had from past lives, unresolved heart chakra baggage from past lives. But then there was an equally large weight of baggage that they had taken on from their genetic family at the start of this life. It's funny for a lot of people. I mean, you may have had past lives with some of your siblings and your parents, probably both your parents, in many cases. But if you compare to how many past lives you've had, it's really not that. It's you've had so many more past lives than you've had lives with these current family members. But how the current family can affect you so much is just that people tend to take on so much energy from their genetic family, the current genetic family, as they, start the life, like at conception, and then, in the early months of pregnancy, and then early years of life, the formative years of your life. In childhood, you very influenced and molded isn't really an accurate word, but that's how people would say it. You're molded by your family. So anyway, that's what we're going to look to help with, both the burden that you got that you still haven't cleared from past lives, so it's still with you, and then also what you took on from your genetic family in this life. That is sort of keeping your Jeep wheel stuck so that you can't get out of the ruts that you're in. Because it's very rewarding and satisfying and fun to be able to create positive change in your life very consistently. It's really, really fun and rewarding and nice, and life is easier that way if you can identify a problem and then change. I mean, not instantly probably, but the more you can grow and strengthen and change, I think it really helps with stress and just overall outlook on life. So that's the idea. And I don't think all the, stuck Jeep wheels are heart chakra, but it does seem like that's what we're going to focus on first, and perhaps primarily. We'll see what people need. So should be exciting. So I did want just to give a quick heads up about the sort of a look back at, I'll keep it very fast though, look back at the February group healings. There was some interesting things done that I just want to spotlight momentarily. Basically in February, I know these videos end up being so long, these live streams, and when they get saved as videos, they're like 2 hours each. So it can be a little daunting for people that don't have meditation as a big part of each day. Where do I start? Oh, Janet, there's so much, So high level, what I would say is, these healings come in sets, right? There's a set of 3 and then there's a set of 2 each month, right? The triplet set is a set of 3, and then the twin set, the Healing Masterclass twin set, is a set of 2 now. So usually, if you can only do one in the set of these, long 2-hour videos, do the last one in each set. And then 2, of course, you can just look in the healing summary in the comment section, and just, everything will be detailed, what was done. And so I don't always, but I try to put in bold some of the key concepts or techniques. So they're already in capital letters, but then, sometimes they're bolded as well. So, I always say this, but I think some people still miss it, so I always keep saying it. It's not just about the theme. So like if you think, okay, well, February triplet, that was about love life. My love life's fine, so whatever, I'm going to blow that off. Or, I'm single and I'm happy being single, so I'm going to blow that off. But there was, the techniques in there actually help on interpersonal levels quite a bit. So they could help you professionally, they could help you with friends or manifesting friendships, or, getting along with your siblings. So there's a lot of interpersonal work and techniques that we did in that love life triplet set. Turtle exercise, melting inner walls. Those are nice even just for working on, how you feel within yourself. So anyway, so those are in the, I tried to make that last, I'll link them below, the last of the triplet, which has turtle exercise and melting inner walls and other cool stuff, energy seal stuff. Energy seal stuff is if you're like a real energy geek about boundaries, energy boundaries, like being less permeable to invasive beings and stuff. Energy seal was like a new concept that we played with on and off throughout the February group healings. And the Healing Masterclass, highlights of that, it helped people with clairvoyance a lot. And just a overall feeling of like feeling okay about life, which, because it worked on the 6th chakra and the 4th chakra a lot. And 6th chakra has to do with clairvoyance and non-judgment. So non-judgment was in the theme, but to achieve that, we did a lot of 6th chakra work and 4th chakra work, and sort of, I think it was a step forward in that we did a lot of astral body work, astral body aura, astral body chakras, and very detailed chakra work, like chakra flaps on all the chakras, and the filaments in between the astral body and physical body chakras. So I felt like that was kind of, it was the second Healing Masterclass twin set that we had done, because they used to be just one healing and another 2. I felt like that February healing was kind of like the debut of the twin set being like really sort of, excuse this word, kids, I don't recommend that you use this word, but it was kind of badass, It's kind of like technically speaking, there was very in-depth work that gave people very nice results in that twin set, the February twin set. So that was nice. So if you haven't worked on your astral body ever, your astral body aura explicitly, it's interesting work, and it feels a little different than when you're working the physical body stuff, even though visually it's the same, just, the astral versus the physical. There's still chakras and chakra flaps and grounding and everything, but very interesting. And I guess maybe the most foundational takeaway from the whole month, if I had to pick one that's simple and usable and could make a big difference for people, is the last healing of February. So the second in the twin set, towards the very end, actually, when we were unblocking grounding, we didn't just unblock grounding, period. We unblocked the physical body grounding, the grounding for the physical body aura, separately. And then we unblocked the grounding for the astral body aura, separately. And the plus of that is that if you do that to yourself personally, because you can work your grounding and make sure it's unblocked and wide and everything. But then if you look but when you're doing it just once like that in a simple way, you're superimposing both. In a sense, it's a composite of your physical body grounding and your astral body grounding, and you're looking at them both at the same time. The problem with the composite is, say one of them is flowing fantastically and the other one is kind of lame on one side, you won't necessarily notice that in a composite because you'll see lots of flow on both sides. Whereas if you look separately, if you don't do a composite for your grounding and you look just at physical body grounding and then astral body grounding, you'll be able to see like, holy moly, my astral body grounding, like a whole side of it is completely blocked. But you wouldn't have seen that because your physical body grounding is so rocking all over. So I think that if you want one little takeaway from all of the February of like, gosh, how many hours, like 2 hours of pop, so 10 hours of live streaming, that maybe could be your little easy bite-sized takeaway that could make a really big difference. Because I think some people, they just, they might not feel stable enough or grounded enough or, non-triggered enough. And, but they do work their grounding. So like Janet, but it could be that, once you do them separately, you realize like, wow, no wonder that my left side never feels right. And then you see, you unblock that side of your, say your astral body grounding or your physical body ground, or the back of your physical body grounding is all blocked, but your astral one is fine. So if that's too confusing for you, you could post a question in the comment section about what part confuses you later. And I'd be happy to, have a discussion in the comment section of any video about that. But hopefully that makes sense already. And so we will do that in this healing too. We'll do separate grounding unblockings, astral and physical. We'll do them together and then we'll do separate just so you can kind of, maybe we'll see. But we'll play with that one part for sure in this healing. But the turtle exercise, the melt inner walls, all that, we probably won't do that today. So those, I'll link below later the last video of each of those February sets, in case you want to peruse and rock that out. So hope that makes sense. So I'm going to take a look at my cute little adorable greetings that I get in the live chat, because I love those. And then I'll be quiet for a minute or two, and then we'll get going with the healing. So thank you for all my adorable little emojis. I really like those. Good morning, can hear you. Hi Janet, happy Friday. Yes, it is Friday. For me, it's never like a happy Friday. I mean, like, well, it's happy as in I'm happy, but it's like, it's not the end of my work week, so. It's not like a happy Friday, like, thank God we made it to Friday kind of a thing that most, the Monday through Friday type people think of. So, but anyway, thank you for the positive vibes. Anyway, so it says, hi Janet, gives me a strawberry and a carrot and a broccoli. Wow, I feel healthier just looking at that. So it says, hi, good evening from England. Hello, good to hear. Countries that people are from, I always like that. I mean, I know some of the countries as I look, but I don't want to, sort of say that. If you don't say your country, I'm not going to say it. Have brought it with you. Great fun times. Don't know what that means, but thanks for my emojis. Hi, Janet. Everybody. Hey, everybody. Happy to be here. I have to be working during this session, so I'll be half listening, for most of it. Yes, don't let me get anybody in trouble. If you're not allowed to half listen while you're working, please, don't. But I do know that a lot of people do have the kind of jobs where you can half listen while you work, which I think is pretty cool, pretty amusing. I've known of people who, this was before I did live streaming, I think though, but I know like I've had clients who half listen to my videos while they like work at a bank or something. Of course, most people now are working from home at the moment due to the pandemic. So anyway, all right, cool. Well, good. Thanks to everybody watching and everybody giving me cute little greetings. That's always adorable. All right, cool. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute or two, and during part of that time, I will be just prepping myself a little extra. During part of it, I will be saying hi telepathically to the 100 different people. Oh, geeky stats. Of the 100 people in 11 different countries that I'm healing, that I will be healing shortly, 75 are in the US, 7 are in the UK, 4 are in Australia, 3 are in Qatar, 3 are in Bermuda, 2 in Canada, 2 in United Arab Emirates, 1 in Spain, 1 in India, 1 in South Korea, and 1 in Japan. So yay, I love that there are people from all over the world. I'm always definitely welcoming of that. If you live in a different part of the world, not US, not Canada, UK, I would say it's still not that hard to, like the time at which my sessions go up is not that impossible. It's like late evening, but not crazy evening. I'm starting to put my sessions up at a very specific time now to help people to schedule, to be available when the sessions go up, because they sell faster now within like just a few hours. But my sessions go up at noon my time now, give or take 8 minutes or so. Sometimes I'm a little late, but they go up at noon my time, so that's 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. I think in England that's like, in the UK that's maybe 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. whatever, and Central Europe 7, 8, 9 p.m. something along those lines. So, but if you live in countries where it's like seriously 3 a.m. or something, feel free. Well, anyway, I do have a waiting list if you want to get an auto pay schedule. You want to get an auto pay subscription, so that say you want to buy all of the healings anyway, or you want to buy all of the twin set healings anyway. Just email me, ask me, if you could be on my waiting list for an auto pay subscription. Because I know that, like if you live in Qatar, it's probably, kind of at an unreasonable time of night, when the sessions go up. So, you can let me know. And I think the angels would give those people slightly more priority on the auto pay waiting list, although I do have lots of people in the US that get subscriptions as well. So, but anyway, I'm trying to make it more and more fair within what's possible. Okay, now I will shut up finally and finish prep for a minute or two. And then when I start moving my hands, that's when I've started healing people. And then shortly after that, I will start explaining what I do. And so then it's a more usable walkthrough for people. If I'm healing you, you don't have to heal yourself. You don't even have to watch live, but you can. You could watch live and just enjoy, or you could watch live and also heal yourself. Either way is fine. And if you're not one of the 100 people, you're very welcome, as I've said, to watch and heal yourself. It is an all levels walkthrough. If you're a newbie, you're super, super welcome. Some of it may not make total sense, but you could take notes if you want on what didn't make sense, and post it later as a question for me under the video. But I'm sure as a newbie, you would understand enough to give yourself a nice healing. So you're welcome to watch. Okay, I will shut up. Okay, thanks so much for waiting. What I was doing there more this time was just sort of assessing everywhere more than actually healing, which is an interesting thing to do when you start to heal yourself, is just, use your hands like you're going to heal yourself, but then you kind of don't change much. You just kind of watch and interact a little so you can see what's up everywhere. So when you heal, you can use a copy of your own energy system out in front of you. You just create it with your intention, with your thought. You don't have to see energy to make this copy. So you just make a copy out in front of you of your aura, yourself, your body, your body, your spirit body, your auras, your grounding, and just get a sense of the flow. Get a sense of if your aura is whole or if it has rips in it. Get a sense of your grounding, overall, the flow, the width of it. And so let's do grounding first. Just first, I guess, both groundings together, astral and physical body grounding. So just as one, just imagine you're grounding, and you want it to be wide and flowing all the way down to the core of the earth. So wide as your whole aura. So as wide as this part of your hand if you were to outstretch it. That's how wide your aura is. So you want to make your grounding that wide, red or orange or yellow, and keep it that wide all the way down to the core of the earth. So let's just go through the colors, because I think if you can do it quickly, but it's a nice little workout. So have a red grounding, big red grounding all the way down to the core of the earth. And make sure you're setting both. I'm going to sometimes talk about them separately, sometimes talk about them together, but set your astral body grounding at red. So imagine your astral body aura, your astral body grounding nice and red and wide and flowing all the way down to the core of the earth, and your physical body grounding all nice and wide all the way down to the core of the earth as red. So both groundings make them red. Because sometimes people accidentally don't change one of those groundings. They don't change the color, and then it's harder to be present when your spirit is vibrating at one vibration and your physical body is vibrating at a totally different vibration. Color is vibration. So that's why we're talking about color, because it's just an easy way of saying a vibrational range is to say red. So anyway, so you have both your groundings at red. Unblock them both at red. And you can go ahead and imagine them separate, imagine one at a time, the red physical body grounding, and just see if it's flowing in the back enough, flowing in the front enough. Unblock at the bottom. A lot of times there's like a crust at the bottom that just blocks everything up. So unblock your red grounding at the bottom. So it goes straight, your energy flow goes straight downward. Physical body, red grounding. Astral body, red grounding. And again, unblock, because it can kind of bounce back up if it's too blocked and can't go all the way down to the core of the earth. It meaning the energy bounces back up. You want to see like a waterfall, like it goes down without all that spray of like a real waterfall has, some of the water hits rocks and just bounces up into the air. You don't want that for grounding. You want it to all go straight down and get instantly absorbed by the core of the earth. If it doesn't get absorbed right away, that means it hit energy blocks. So we're doing red grounding for your physical body, and then red grounding for your astral body aura. Each grounding is for your physical, is for the body and the aura. So your astral body and your astral body aura, or your physical body and your physical body aura. So anyway, astral body, red astral body grounding. And there may be a side that you just feel is just much more stubborn. So just keep unblocking it. Okay, so orange grounding, set both your astral body grounding and your physical body grounding to be orange, your favorite shade of orange. And just think about letting go. I can let go. I can let go. It's okay. You can let go. Deep breaths as you're doing it, because that can help you to relax and be less resistant if you just let yourself breathe deeply. So we're unblocking both your astral body, astral grounding and physical grounding at orange. So you're setting both to orange, physical body grounding, check the flow at orange. Astral body grounding, check the flow downward at orange. And this may seem really nitpicky, but there is a payoff because you're clearing more this way. And so then in your day, things are just easier because your grounding is already unblocked at all these different vibrations. So when you shift because of some event or something happens, or you start a new project and you shift colors, you're already unblocked at that level much more than you would have been. And so there is a payoff, even though right now it seems very nitpicky, then your day actually seems less nitpicky. you know? So we just unblocked your grounding at orange, both astral and physical body grounding. So last one we're going to do is yellow for both astral body grounding and physical body grounding. Set them to yellow and unblock both at that color. I like to think of grounding in like quarters, so you check the front 2 quarters and the back 2 quarters, check the center of it, rather than just like at a glance, like, yeah, there's flow. Because you can have like the whole back blocked up or the whole left side blocked up or, the whole core part blocked up. And then you can look at one and then the other. So I'm going to just look at physical body grounding first, but if you want to look at astral body grounding first, I don't think it makes a big difference. So I'm going to do physical body grounding first at yellow, unblocking it. And I noticed one side does seem to be much more blocked up than the other. So that's yellow astral grounding. We're unblocking it. And then physical grounding at yellow. Breathe deeply. Think about letting go. It's okay to let go. All right, so now you can go back to whatever of the 3 colors that you liked the most, but just make sure both astral grounding and physical body grounding are that same color. So red, or both of them orange, or both of them yellow. And make them the same shade of the same color, because like I said, it's a lot easier to be present if your body and your spirit are, on the same page, basically. All right, so that was grounding, but it was, maybe it seems a little nitpicky. You can let me know later if it was too hard or it was okay to do. But that was grounding, unblocking in 3 colors, emphasizing, the whole separate aspect, that you look at each one distinctly, the astral body grounding and then the physical body grounding. So interested to in your feedback, what you feel about that one way or another. So that's grounding. And now let's do aura repair. And I was talking to one of my relatively advanced clients, and he was saying how he was realizing, and this is not uncommon for people to realize, like intermediate people and beginners especially, that he was kind of confusing aura repair with aura unblocking. And he was actually kind of skipping the aura repair sometimes, which obviously is a real problem. When you have aura repair, what I mean by that, first of all, your aura is, the energy field that you're generating with your major chakras along your spine. So you have a physical body aura generated by the major chakras along your physical body spine. And then you have an astral body aura generated by your major chakras along your astral body spine. So those are the two regular auras that I talk about. So we're going to do aura repair for those two regular auras. And so that's repairing the rips, so that you're not leaking energy out and attracting invasive beings in a big way and just being a hot mess and losing energy. So that's aura repair. And if you need it and you're not doing it just because you feel like geeking around with some other part of your energy field, it really becomes a problem. So please do not skip aura repair for the, just because it's like boring or something. Because it's really a big deal. It's easy to do, but just don't skip it because you think it's like beneath you or something. Anybody at any level can get aura damage sometimes. Usually you get it because, maybe some beings are throwing energy at you, or a person is throwing energy at you. And it just breaks through things and then starts making rips in your aura. So just imagine both your regular auras out in front of you. You can imagine them together if you want. And then just look for rips. And if you have rips, just use gold light. Now, I've said too that there are steps to do before this if you're intermediate or beginner. Because the problem is, if you've been leaking energy, you've probably attracted little invasive beings, not like you, a giant being, but little tiny things, and they get in the way and they kind of gunk up the rips. And so then when you, as an intermediate or beginner, is repairing your aura, you might not actually fully repair things because there's too much gunk in the way, right? So I have said, well, let's get rid of all sorts of beings before we do aura repair. But, I always like doing things different. So this time we won't do all those preparatory steps. We'll just do aura repair, but just make sure you really kind of scoop underneath the guck, right? If there is, any little gucky stuff, like some tiny little invasive beings or whatever, just scoop underneath all that to get to the depth of the rips, the deepest, most inner part of all the rips. You can even pour gold water that kind of goes down. So the guck, maybe you imagine the guck floats and your gold light is like heavy water. And so it goes down and adheres to all the ripped parts. Because it is very important that that your gold light makes full contact with all the ripped parts. Otherwise they won't fully repair and you'll be leaking energy for days and days and weeks, and it really erodes a lot in life if that's the case. So we don't want that, right? So just let that gold light be kind of heavy so it gets in there and clings to all the damaged surfaces that need repair. And just get that repair done. And another quick way, maybe let's try to, you could say, angels, if there are any beings in the way of my aura repair, can you get rid of them for me? We'll see if that's enough. So, and you should notice, unless your chakras are really messed up, that once you repair the aura, that it gets actually much bigger because it's no longer leaking energy out. So it just gets larger, which is good. That means you're keeping more energy inside, and so you have more flow and presence. It's very cool. Let's see. Yeah, I think my camera was a little fuzzy. Sorry about that. When I move my hands around, it gets out of focus. All right, so that's aura repair of your regular auras. And go ahead and double check. Make sure you got all the rips of your physical body aura. Imagine that separately. And then your astral body aura, imagine that separately. Just make sure with your thought, your intention, that you got all the rips out of both of them. And then just recreate your gold buffer zones. Those are big gold flowing force fields of gold light, gold healing energy that we create, and you attach them to the edge of each of your regular auras. And you learn that from a video called Gold Energy Aura Buffer Zones. So I would definitely recommend that video. It's only 18 minutes. For anybody that hasn't seen it, Gold Energy Aura Buffer Zones. So you search YouTube, Janet Wright Gold Buffer Zones, and you'll find it. But anyway, okay, so we've repaired both auras. We've made the gold buffer zones. We've done the grounding in a really deluxe way by doing all three colors and making sure we unblock both astral and physical groundings at all three colors. So it's a little backwards for how we did it, last month. But now let's do the being stuff. Get rid of the being stuff, because even though you can unblock, if you use a lot of gold light and a lot of thoroughness, you can unblock nicely and repair nicely without. Sorry, you can unblock the grounding nicely and repair the aura nicely without getting rid of the beings first. But now let's get rid of the beings, because they're going to be in the way anyway. So we're going to do two things to get rid of the beings. Someone said how to unblock it. I think they mean the aura. Usually I only read questions like at the end, but sometimes I notice them. So someone says how to unblock it. I think you mean the aura, but we'll get to that later. Maybe you meant unblock grounding, which we already did. Basically, you're using gold light from your hands. Your hand chakras and your fingertip chakras generate energy, and you use your intention to set these energy centers to a metallic gold color. Where I had here's gold glitter, if you need to imagine what gold looks like. I mean, obviously we all know what gold looks like, but if you're sitting there trying to imagine, sometimes you're like, oh, I can't imagine it. So if you see it visually, sometimes that helps just kind of your memory in your mind, and then you're like, okay, I'm imagining it's gold. But even if you can't imagine, you just use your thought and your intention. You're like, okay, I'm setting them to gold, I'm opening them up more, these energy centers, so I'm generating gold light. And you imagine the energy blocks, which are kind of like hard pieces of energy, and you melt those with the gold light. And as they melt, that's unblocking. That's what unblocking is. You're melting away the energy blocks that exist in whatever you're unblocking. So it could be an energy channel, it could be a part of your aura, it could be part of your grounding. So as far as unblocking, all we've done so far is the grounding, which is a big deal. But so that's how we did it. We used gold light to find the blocks and melt them using the gold light. So that's how you do it. But if that still doesn't make sense, you can ask a question. I'll answer it at the end. Okay, so beings, as I said, beings, let's remove beings just because they can get in the way. And you can do that earlier in the process too if you want, but this time we're switching it around. So we'll do crowd exercise to get rid of beings first, and then we'll do vacuum boxes. So with crowd exercise, it's very easy. You just imagine any beings that are bothering you as a distant crowd, and then you ask your angels to recycle them. So the imagining is for your information, for your learning, because some days you may have more beings trying to mess with you than other days, and you might learn a little bit from that, like, oh, that explains why this morning was so wacky, you know. So so you just imagine as a crowd, you know, any invasive beings that are messing with you from afar, just, you know, maybe they're throwing energy, they're cording, sending a lot of energy through the cords. But anyway, imagine all those invasive beings that are trying to mess with you from a distance, and just say, angels, can you please recycle all of them? And then imagine any beings that are trying to mess with you up close, from, like, say they wound up in your aura or your chakras already. And again, you're a giant, so don't be afraid, but yeah, these little things can get in the way. So any invasive beings that are messing with you from up close, just imagine them as a distant crowd out in front of you, just so you get a sense of how many we're talking about. And then just say, angels, can you please recycle all of them? And as that's happening, you just relax. You don't have to do anything. Your angels do it for you. You'll notice I drink while I do this work. It's just centering. I suggest, and one time somebody said, "Oh, I'm drinking hot chocolate," which, you know, it's up to you, but that's a ton of sugar in hot chocolate, so it may not be healthy for you. But if you have a healthy beverage, you know, I would absolutely encourage it. You know, this is like custom herbal tea that my acupuncturist tells me to brew for my system. But any kind of healthy beverage, you know, healthy herbal tea. It's nice when you're meditating, you know, it can be centering, it helps your body, you know, it's something that you do for your body as you're working the energy. It can be comforting. So, and keeps you hydrated. But anyway, so, okay, great. So let's do that, 2 more reps of it, but we'll do it much faster. So, imagine as a crowd, beings that are messing with you from afar, and then beings that are messing with you from up close. Angels, please recycle them. And then one more time, just because sometimes your angels don't do them all at once because it's too big a shift for you. So any remaining beings that are messing with you from afar, just imagine them as a distant crowd. Any beings that are messing with you still from up close within your space, and say, angels, please recycle all of these. Okay, so that was crowd exercise to get rid of invasive beings. While we're at it, when we're doing crowd exercise already, let's do crowd exercise for getting rid of invasive people too. So people that are screwing with you from afar, that could be, you know, just like with beings that, you know, sending a lot of energy through energy cords, throwing energy. Also, people maybe are more likely to be also telepathing you in a way that's harassing, like constant telepathing or telepathically screaming even at you. People get stuck in this stuff subconsciously, you know, like that whole inner scream idea where they're just really frustrated. Sometimes they'll do that at one or several people, just subconsciously as a result of being stuck. So that's sort of a way of screwing with you, right? So just imagine any people, just as a little visual representation out in front of you, any people that are screwing with you from afar, and then another crowd, any people that are screwing with you from up close. So maybe part of their energy is in, you know, one of your aura layers, or part of your grounding, or one of your chakras or something. So people messing with you from afar, people messing with you up close, and then just say, hi everybody, go talk to your angels, go talk to your angels, go have a good day, go check your grounding, go take a deep breath if you want, go talk to your angels. So you're not brainwashing these people, you're staying present, you're just letting your voice bring up the topic of maybe there's something they might want to do more than bother you. So some people might still be too stuck in their frustrations. So just say, I know things are really frustrating. I get it. You know, you're frustrated, you're exhausted, your life is very hard. Go talk to your angels. They can help you immediately. Your angels can help you right away. You have angels, they can help you right away. All right. And you can, again, imagine for people, any people messing with you from afar, people messing with you from up close. And if there are any, you could just, you know, say, hey, go talk to your angels, go take a deep breath, go check out your body, go have a good day. And if you still have people, just say, angels, please help me with these people. All right, great. And for those of you that are new to my work, maybe, I always say angels very specifically, and I would suggest that you do the same, because you might have agreements with beings that are not angels, that are not respectful, but you're not really conscious of that. But when you say angels, your real personal angels will be the ones doing what you're asking. So it's much safer that way, karmically speaking. Okay, now vacuum boxes. There are, I'm gonna have you make vacuum boxes in a lot of different places in your energy system. And so if that seems complicated, you just kind of wing it and do it. And because your spirit is actually more capable than you may consciously realize. But if you're still thinking, oh my gosh, that was so complicated, I had no idea what she just said, just say, angels, help me do this. Angels, help me do this. And if it's complicated and you don't trust me really, like you're not sure, maybe you just, this is your first video, just say, angels, if this is in my best interest, help me do this. How about that? Then you're covering all your bases, right? If you don't trust yourself, you don't trust me. Not that way, you're all set, right? Okay, so vacuum boxes are 3D little boxes that you make. They're temporary energy devices. And they're very temporary. They're going to be, you'll have them gone within a minute, so don't worry. But you make them out of universal healing energy, so they're fine. They're rainbow colored, whatever colors you want, or gold. And they're little 3D boxes, and you turn them on with a remote control, and when you do that, they suck up energy that's around them like a vacuum, energy that's not yours. So invasive beings that are in the area, maybe also invasive people that are in the area too. And then when they're all done and they're full, you just intuitively kind of know that, or they're going to be full within like 20-30 seconds. Then you just say, angels, can you please recycle all my vacuum boxes? And then you have a lot less junk in your way. So all the places, now I'm going to list all the places that you make them. And as I list the places, just, imagine, you're making a whole bunch of those vacuum boxes and putting them where I just said, right? So first, of course, we're going to do them in both of your groundings, your astral grounding and your physical body grounding. Astral grounding, I kind of slurred my word there. Astral grounding and physical grounding. So put them down there in your grounding. A bunch of vacuum boxes for the grounding for your physical body aura. Put a bunch of vacuum boxes around there inside your grounding, and also around the outside of your grounding, because I've noticed that people get like these weird, messy, just right on the outside of the grounding. So put a lot of vacuum boxes around the outside of your physical body grounding too, and on the inside of your physical body and grounding. And then astral body grounding. Make a bunch of vacuum boxes in there, and then a bunch of vacuum boxes around the outside of your astral body grounding. Okay, and you don't have to turn them on yet. We'll turn them all on at the end, right before the end. So then you want to make them around your body, physical body and astral body. So you can just make a whole bunch around the front surface and the sides of your astral body, and then the back surface of your astral body. So all around your astral body, just make a whole bunch of vacuum boxes, especially around your head and neck, because you can get a lot of tension there around your shoulders. But if you have other tension areas, make sure you make extra vacuum boxes around wherever that is. But so vacuum boxes all around your astral body, and now vacuum boxes all around your physical body. Just a whole bunch all around the back surface, the front surface, and the sides. So that's vacuum boxes around your physical body. And then We didn't really do much up here or down here in your aura. So make a bunch above and below your physical body, and a bunch above and below your astral body, and then a bunch above your regular auras. Just like see your regular auras end here, so put some up here. And then the other place that I'm suggesting that you put them is on your spiritual path. Your spiritual path is a road that's just for you, and you can look on it and see yourself on it and see, are you moving forward nicely? Are you kind of stuck on the side? So it's nice to remove any unnecessary obstacles, other people's energy, any invasive beings on your path. Your path is only for you. So just put a whole bunch of vacuum boxes around yourself on your path and in front of you on your path so that you're going to unblock it. All right, and so now you can just turn on all those vacuum boxes all at once and just relax and let the vacuum boxes work. And again, if you think you messed that up, say, angels, help me make all the vacuum boxes that she said. Help me turn them all on. And you can just relax while they work. It's going to take 20 or 30 seconds for them to fully work. So you just chill out in the meantime. And then you can just say, angels, can you please recycle my vacuum boxes? So then just check out the before and after now. Just comb through your regular auras, comb through your regular groundings. Redo your buffer zones just because it's so easy to do. May as well keep doing it. A lot of people probably don't redo their buffer zones enough, like during their day. So, because you might have beings throwing energy at you, or people throwing energy at you throughout the day. So if you just redo your buffer zones often enough, then you might not get aura damage really much at all. But it's still good to check just in case. So anyway, so now let's do some chakra work. We did very interesting chakra work, like I said last month, like chakra flaps and filaments in between astral and physical, all sorts of very interesting things. I just let the angels that were preparing the 100 people that I was healing do the repair in prep work and people sleep. But I think it's good to do it consciously as well. So let's do that. We'll do just the sort of good old chakra repair stuff that we used to do a bunch. I'll try to do it relatively fast. Chakra repair for major and minor chakras, and also energy channels of the body and spirit. And we'll do that with composite copy technique. So because in the February twin set, the latter two healings of the month, we did very detailed work with 6th chakra, astral and physical, and then 4th chakra, astral and physical. But you can do repair of all chakras at once. It's just that you can go further when you do one chakra at a time, because you can see details you would have missed otherwise, and therefore address those details you might have missed otherwise. But let's just kind of extra center so that this composite work that we're doing can be as thorough as possible. So just take a minute to center yourself. Think about being present even in your toes, in your fingertips, everywhere. Recreate your nice wide groundings. Pick a color, red or orange or yellow, for your physical body grounding, and that same color for your astral body grounding. and make both groundings as wide as your whole aura, and wide all the way down to the core of the earth. Okay, so we just potentially reset your grounding color and just made sure both groundings are nice and wide and flowing. So for composite copy technique, you use a tub of gold light, as well as just using your hands to supply the gold. So make a nice wide tub of gold universal healing energy, like water. Fill it up with gold energy that's kind of like water. And you could splash around in it, even splash some on your face, which is kind of nice feeling. Like that. So fill it up with lots of, universal gold healing energy, this tub of water, and make it wide because we're going to use 2 composites. We're going to have one composite copy that looks like an open cylinder. So the cylinder part and then the round opening, right? Because that's the basic shape of a chakra. So we're going to have this composite copy that you make represent all your major chakras and all your minor chakras. So minor chakras are not minor in importance, actually. They're a really big deal as well. They're just minor, they tend to be minor in size. So minor chakras, some of them are just, they're not the part of the big 7, like this one right here I call chakra 4.5. So that's a minor chakra, just because it's not one of the big 7. And then your Kundalini chakra in your physical body below your first chakra, that I would call a minor chakra, but super important, especially if you're trying to go to sleep. It's got to be off. So those are minor chakras, but also minor chakras are all these amazing acupuncture points all over the physical body. They're just really amazing and astounding as far as physical health, but also mental, spiritual, psychological health. So those are minor chakras, but again, only minor in size because the meridians, the energy pathways tend to be, smaller in size than, anyway, yeah, so these minor chakras, so this copy represents all your minor chakras and all your major chakras along your spine, the big 7, astral, and big 7, physical. So just imagine that copy and use gold light. Now for the repair part, we're looking for any, or imagining any cracks or breaks, little pieces missing, and you want to use gold light, so much gold light that it really gets in there and cleans it out, and the chakra would start to grow back and fully repair. So use as much gold light as you can, and you can also dunk it in the water, the gold tub of water, so you immerse it that way too. So this is chakra repair. You're using one composite copy to repair all your major and minor chakras to the extent that is healthy and gentle to do. Because for example, like the minor chakras, they're in your physical body meridians, and your physical body, there's a certain amount of change that would be healthy for your physical body to do at one time. So you just intuitively hit that mark of like as much change as is healthy and gentle. So unblock as well. Just imagine the clogs around or in the chakra composite that you have, and just melt away with the gold light. Just melt away any clogs, or it can look like sort of hard shells around the chakra or clogs inside it, and just melt that stuff away. So that I would consider unblocking. So just keep doing that. Lots and lots and lots of gold light. With minor chakras too, they can kind of collapse in on themselves, almost like if you have a soda can and then you just crush it from the middle, like so some of these minor chakras might actually be crushed. And so just use so much gold light that they kind of expand out to their normal size that they should be at. Let's say healthy size, because normal is like a weird term. So use so much gold light that the minor chakras kind of expand out to a healthy size, and your other chakras expand out to a healthy size. And you've probably done it already, just without really consciously doing it, but melt away cords. If there are any cords going into these chakras, just melt them all away. The only one to keep would be if you have kids that are, if you are the parent of kids that are, say, 13 or younger, you keep just the first chakra cord to your kids. And there is a first chakra, astral and physical cord. But you don't have to think about that. Just keep the parent cord at the first chakra if you are a parent of a young child. But if your kid is grown up, even if you still think of them as your child, don't have that cord. It's not going to help. So only if you have a young child, keep the first chakra cord. But otherwise, melt all the cords, because that will allow the chakra to heal more and grow more. Okay, so then you can just leave that in there to further unblock and repair and heal as we're working on the energy channels. So the composite copy you make for energy channels probably looks pretty similar. Maybe it's just a little longer to represent an energy channel. So it's like the composite copy representing all your energy channels of your body and spirit. So an energy channel could be a pretty big one, like that goes down your neck and your shoulders and your arms, or like up and down your spine. It's an energy channel. But then there can be more ones that are smaller in size, but still very, very important, like all these acupuncture meridians that carry energy around, you know, like there's this cool zigzaggy one that goes down the back of your shoulder. But, you know, so one composite copy representing all those energy channels of your body and spirit. And otherwise, it's pretty similar what we're doing. Just do repair, dunk it in the gold light, do unblocking, belt cords, all cords. You don't need any cords going into energy channels. The repair work, you can have a crack. You can have just like a split. An energy channel can just be split open. So just repair it as much as possible. Unblock it. Imagine just, you know, get the gold light in there so you unblock all the blockages inside all your energy channels. And we could just say angels, because you could do vacuum boxes with these composite copies, but let's keep it simple for the moment. Just say, angels, can you please recycle any beings or being tunnels in any of my chakras or any of my energy channels? So again, that request is, angels, can you please recycle any beings or being tunnels in my chakras or energy channels? And being tunnels are just, it's what they sound like. It's just a little passageway for beings, which you don't want. So we're just going to finish up the work on the energy channels now. So just imagine some guck in the energy channels, some blockages. It can look like mud in there. It can look like hard little walls in there that shouldn't be there. It can be a whole side of an energy channel that's muddy too. Like one side has good flow, one side doesn't. So you can use gold sandstorm even. That can be more assertive. So gold sandstorm is different from the gold flowing energy in just that you imagine it as little bits of gold light that you're generating and you spin it around. So it can kind of scour out, can kind of clean out in a little bit more assertive way. So you could use gold sandstorm within these energy channels. And around the outside as well, you can use gold sandstorm around the outside of these energy channels. And again, melt any cords, do repair. If an energy channel get damaged, like I said, it could be split open. It could also have little puncture, like gashes in it. So just let all that get repaired. also there's a protective force field around energy channels, and that can get damaged and ripped up and diminished. So it's kind of like how your body has an aura, your energy channel has a it's not as big as an aura, but it has like a flowy force field around it that protects it. So you can just imagine the force field around this composite copy of your energy channels and just use gold light to grow it back a little bit. All right. So a little final swoosh for all your chakras, all your energy channels. And then you can just blow all that up, or you can give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So that was composite copy work. We spent, I think, roughly about 12 minutes doing it. So that's a nice little 12-minute walkthrough of chakra repair and repairing all your major and minor chakras, unblocking them, and doing the same for all your energy channels of your body and spirit. Woohoo! Good job, guys. All right, so now I'm going to see what we need. So I had said that the heart chakra is I said in the intro, I explained it better in the intro. I'm not going to go through the whole thing now, but heart chakra heaviness was in the way of a lot of people ending their negative patterns. Heart chakra heaviness from their own past lives left over, or that they had taken on from this life's genetic family, their current life's genetic family. So we're going to do some stuff to get rid of that. But first, let's use a technique that I think is like a month or two old. We did it earlier. It's nice and so easy. But you have your angels heal and update your heart map. Heart map. So it's like it's part of like a life plan that you have for this life with your angels, but it affects you very much on a heart chakra level, like makes you have a sense of like things can work out. Like there is a plan that I have, and you know, it can be very uplifting to get that healed and restored. Sometimes, you know, there can be so many traumas and stresses in life that can get actually damaged or even partially destroyed. And so then it's not that you don't have a life plan, but you don't have that sense of it anymore. So it's good to have that sense, and I think it can help keep you on track better. So it's so quick and easy, much quicker than the explanation I just did. So you can imagine holding it out to your angels, unless you're not in a place where you want to use your hands. Then you just, you know, do it without movement. But you can, you know, imagine holding out your heart map to your angels and say, angels, can you please heal and update my heart map? And then you can just say thank you to your angels if you want. And you could, you know, imagine it's still there and you receive it again, or just, you know, I think you're going to just automatically receive it when they're done. So that's just a nice quick thing to help your heart chakra. Because again, we want to help the heart chakra a lot because we want to end negative patterns. And I was seeing that just a lot of heaviness and stagnant energy in the heart chakra can prevent you from having that extra force to end your negative patterns and get out of your rut that you're stuck in. Okay, so sometimes the burdens that you take on from other people, a way of being aware of them when you're not already, a way of becoming aware of them and getting rid of them in a healthy way is you imagine, as you're moving forward on your path, your spiritual path, it can look like you're dragging stuff behind you in a really heavy way. So you can imagine, this part of you that's on your spiritual path, and then, imagine that part of you walking forward, and you kind of see it, so you're still in your body, and you see this part of you walking forward, and then you see, what are you dragging? What are you dragging specifically that you took on from, say, somebody that you care about in this life, and say you didn't even have a positive relationship with either genetic parent. There's still something about that. Like, you can still take on a lot from a genetic parent. It maybe not out of affection, just out of like, that was part of the rules of, okay, you're going to be my kid, you got to take on these burdens, like on a spirit level. So it doesn't mean necessarily, it still can be true that you did this even if you don't like your parents. But just look behind you as you're the part of you that's on your path, look behind you for burdens that you took on from your parents, and it can look kind of funny, like weird funny, not haha funny, but it can look like a big car engine, or just a pile of junk, a bunch of boxes, a heavy rock. It could just look like weird junk. Like this one woman, I'm looking at hers, and hers looks like a bunch of car tires. This guy I'm looking at, his looks like a whole bunch of antique furniture. His mom was very into restoring a certain type of old furniture. So he has this whole like rooms and rooms full of antique furniture that he's dragging forward on a spirit level. And it can be literal like that, but it's just the energy of whatever pain you took on a heart chakra level. We're specifically looking at anything that's, helping you, keeping you in your negative patterns, but just look behind you. What are you dragging forward from other people that's holding you back? And just wrap it up in gold light. Sometimes if it's like a whole, 50 different objects, just wrap the whole thing up so it's like a little package encased in gold, and just say, angels, can you help me with all this? And just hand it to your angels. And you want to, of course, imagine what's healthy and gentle to do now, so again, you can do it again. So you're just imagining yourself on your road that's just for you, your spiritual path, and look behind you and all the junk that you're dragging behind you, and just wrap it all in gold light, and kind of package it up so it's just one chunk. And if it seems too big, you can shrink it. That's really cool too. Like you can, like that person that had like 4 rooms of antique furniture, he could just wrap it all in gold light and then shrink it so it's down to like a much smaller package, and then just hand it to your angels and just say, angels, can you please help me with all this? And this works even for my kid participants. They're doing it too, and it works fine. They're all doing a great job. All right, so that we were kind of more looking for objects that are probably from this life that you took on, but let's do that same exercise. And if you feel a little spacey, redo your grounding. Think of your astral body grounding and your physical body grounding, nice big red grounding or orange or yellow, but make them both the same color, whatever of the 3 colors you pick. Okay, and then imagine your spiritual path, which is the road that's just for you, and you're on it, and just look behind you. And this time we're looking for junk that you're dragging forward that's weighing you down from past lives. And just wrap it up in gold light. And like I said, it can look really weird and funny, but you don't have to see it perfectly. I'm just reading some examples just for fun. Somebody, her dad is like really into motorcycles, and he's a big pack rat. So like literally she's dragging a couple of motorcycles and stuff, which is funny because this is supposed to be the past life stuff. She has some leftover motorcycles from her dad. So she can wrap that up. But anyway, past life baggage is what we're supposed to be doing right now. So one person, it just looks like ceremonial objects that were given to that person in different lives. That it was like not a clean gift, you know, it was like, here's our pain and now you're responsible for it, that kind of a gift. That you're like, oh, thank you. So just look for past life stuff that you're dragging behind you as you move forward. It's holding you back, keeping you in these negative patterns, and just wrap it all up in gold light. So it's a nice package. And then if it's too big, just make it small, shrink it, because that's fun. And then just hand it to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me with all this? If you're feeling spacey, you know, wiggle your butt, wiggle your toes. You know, don't take yourself too seriously. Just kind of be silly. Redo your grounding, red or orange or yellow, grounding nice and wide all the way down to the core of the earth. Okay, and let's do it again. Imagine your spiritual path. Stay present. But imagine, you know, a copy of your spiritual path out in front of you and you're on it, and look behind you, right behind you. What are you dragging forward that's just weighing you down, keeping in your negative patterns? What are you dragging forward that's good to clear, but it's been with you for lifetimes? Like it's your old junk from past lives. And just wrap it up in gold light. Even if it's like, you know, 5 football fields worth of stuff, just wrap it up in gold light. And you can make it, you can reduce the size of it, which is kind of fun. You don't have to though. And then just hand it all to your angels and say, angels, can you help me with all this? Cool, good job. So what was that? That was burdens behind you on your spiritual path that you're dragging. And we were clearing those. First, the ones that you got from this life, say your parents is often how you get a lot of them. And then from past lives. Junk that you've been dragging forward for several lifetimes. So we wrap that up in gold light and hand it to your angels so that you have a little more pep in your step and you have more forward momentum. You're not dragging forward just silly junk that you've accumulated. Okay, so another reason that you might be stuck in a rut, subconsciously or consciously, is you have some wounds, inner wounds, ways that you've been hurt in this life or past lives. And so it impairs your ability to just clear energy and move on. Like sometimes if you're not so hurt, it's easier to heal and be like, okay, I made myself feel better. I'm okay now and I move forward, right? But you can get so hurt or hurt in such a deep way that you just kind of stay hurt. Like you just are too tired, like being wounded. It's so unfair. Being wounded can make you stupid. Like, you know, like not stupid as in I'm trying to belittle somebody, but like literally you have less initiative, you have less inspiration, you're less likely to heal yourself if you get too wounded. You just kind of are like, you know, and you don't have enough clarity and purpose and force to, like, you know, get yourself healed enough and get on your way, right? So let's make sure that's not an issue by healing inner wounds. So we can specifically heal inner wounds that you have, and it's so easy to do. Heal inner wounds that you have that are, you know, keep you in these negative patterns. Okay, so Now, healing inner wounds, you can imagine them out in front of you just like slashes, copies of your inner wounds, just like slashes out in front of you. And then you put gold light in them and they just heal and the slashes melt away. And you're healing these inner wounds that you have. You could imagine them as like holes in the ground and do the same thing with it. Just clean out the holes with the gold light and use a lot of gold light with the holes, and they'll just all sort of vanish. And then there's no more hole, no more wound, right? So, quickly reground red or orange or yellow, and just make sure both your astral grounding and your physical grounding are that same color that you chose. And then just imagine out in front of you some slashes or some holes that represent your inner wounds that are holding you in negative patterns. And you don't have to know what the negative patterns are. You don't have to know what the inner wounds are. Just imagine them as your wounds as slashes or holes, and then use lots of gold light and just heal your inner wounds that are preventing you from clearing your negative patterns. And lots of gold light. We're healing inner wounds that are keeping you stuck in negative patterns. And you can just keep imagining more and more wounds and just keep healing more and more. I say angels help me to do this, so then they'll make sure you're not doing too much. But you can just keep imagining more wounds and just heal them more and more. Inner wounds that are in the way of you ending negative patterns. Good job. I just have to look a little bit at some sample people the angels are showing me, and then I'll know what we need to do next. So, okay, so the angel showed me one of the people that I'm healing, and she is stuck in a pattern. And the image, that the angel showed me with it is like she's dug herself into a hole, right? So there's this hole in the ground, and it's pretty deep. And she keeps digging deeper and deeper and deeper because she thinks she's supposed to just keep digging a really deep hole, and then at some point it'll just be deep enough and she'll be done. Right? But she keeps digging more and more and more. And the reality of it is, this is not her thing to do. Like, somebody just stuck her with their problem, and they're like, oh, you need to fix this for me. But she shouldn't even be digging this hole at all. Like, it's just somebody else's problem. They just stuck her with it. They just dumped some energy in her space in a past life, and she's been stuck in it ever since. And that can happen. When something's in your space, it affects your thoughts, it affects your ideas, it affects your choices. And so you can get stuck in a way that you're just spinning your wheels on something that actually isn't meaningful to you on a deep spiritual level. It's just someone dumped you with it, and it's affecting your thoughts and choices. So that's the case with this person. So that idea of having energy dumped on you. So that's actually I had a client who that was a very specific problem for her. Like, it would happen all the time that she would get, I think it was her dad mostly, but people at work even would dump energy in her space, and then, it would completely tank her mood. She wouldn't know what to do, it'd be very debilitating. But it happens to everyone, well, most everyone, unless you've really nailed not letting this happen, but it happens to most people maybe this effects are more subtle. You know, it might not ruin your whole day, but it can affect your choices and decisions and thoughts and your opinions and all sorts of things. So that can certainly be weighing you down and distracting you enough so that you don't have the extra clarity and focus and energy to end your negative patterns, right? So let's get rid of that. So any problems that people have dumped on you in this or past lives. So let's just do blanket exercise for that to clear dumped problems. I like that. I mean, I like that we're clearing that. So just make a big old blanket out in front of you. It could be extra big. And then just lump onto it any problems that have been dumped on you in past lives or this life. And you can, don't worry about what it looks like. It can look like big mounds of dirt that you're making, but just dump onto it any problems that have been dumped on you in past lives or in this life. It could be also expectations. Sometimes we do that. We clear expectations people have dumped on you, like I expect you to do this and this and this. But other times it can just be a problem like you've made me sad, you know, and someone will dump that on you, and then for like years you could be burdened by that person at that time was sad and they felt it was your fault, and now you're like really stuck. So just dump all these problems that people have dumped on you, dump all that on the blanket. Dump problems that were dumped on you from past lives, like that one client who's digging this hole spiritually and she shouldn't even be anywhere near that hole. So just dump all the problems that have been dumped on you, dump them on the blanket. Past life dumped problems, this life dumped problems, and that should be probably a pretty giant, epic, large pile now. So you do, angels, please check my pile. And then if it's your stuff you're doing, you know, you can just blow it up. If you're healing somebody else, then I would say just use gold light until it melts. You could use gold light till it melts if it's your stuff too, but I would say blowing up is fun if it's your stuff. In my personal opinion. But some people don't like blowing things up. But anyway, melt or blow up. Get rid of all these dumped problems. So if any of them don't clear, just say, angels, please help me with that. All right, so that was dumped problems. So I'm going to look at another sample person. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of life river healing. Because one of the people that the angels pointed out to me, he has addiction problems. A lot of people have addiction problems to something, to sugar or to, maybe you're addicted to Twitter or Facebook, or, you know, addicted to more significantly self-destructive things, like you're addicted to cocaine or alcohol or something. So in order to change any negative pattern, including addictions, you need a lot of energy, and your energy needs to be pretty on point. So one source of energy is your life river. So you can imagine your life river, and it's like a river that flows. You can imagine it flowing from left to right or right to left, whichever you want, but it's a river. And at the start of the river is conception for this life. And you're an eternal soul, right? So that river, you know, you have that, it's your life force from, you know, when you're in heaven and the lives before that as well. But we're just imagining your life river for this life. And so at the start of the river, that's conception in this life. And then it goes up to you in the present. And so it's carrying your eternal life force to you in the present. So how flowing and positive the energy is in this river really helps you to get a nice constant supply of empowering strength and vitality that is yours. So just take a look at your life river, again for this life, and just see, is it mucky and gross and weird, or is it nice and flowing? And just look for the mucky, gross, weird parts so you can unblock them and improve your life river. It could be the whole darn thing is mucky and gross. So don't lose hope if that's the case. That the upside of that is there's so much room for improvement. But anyway, just imagine your life river, wiggle your toes, wiggle your butt, stay present, don't take it too seriously. But just lots of gold light, gold fire, gold sandstorm. And just to the extent that's healthy and gentle to do at one time, just unblock your life river, make it a lot less gross. How it can get gross is maybe you took on energy from like adults that you were around when you were a kid, or siblings maybe were kind of dumpy, but or somebody like in your first marriage, your mother-in-law in your first marriage, maybe she dumped a lot on you. But don't worry about where. I mean, it's kind of fun sometimes as you clear something, if you have to spend like 20 seconds on it, you can be like, is that from a male or a female? Is that from this life? Is it a work person? Is it a personal life person? Is it from my dad's side of the family? Oh yeah, I know who it is. Just you could play with that intuitively, but I'm not doing that right now, obviously, because I'm healing a lot of people. But the idea is make this river a lot less gross. Make it really cool. Like, because your life force, when it comes in through this river, is pretty nice. So just you want like the start of the river to be just unblock any sort of hardship energy that the water flows into. Just melt that away. And then just imagine some of the more significant blocks in your life river and just work on those. Just lots of gold light. Woo! And just let that melt. And you can say, angels, if there are any beings or being tunnels in my life river, can you please get rid of them? Can you please recycle? Angels, can you please recycle any beings or being tunnels in my life river? All right, great. With your life river, we could quickly unblock that at all colors from red through gold. Because this life river energy is a spirit thing. So it could be at any of those colors: red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, purple, gold, or a combination. So let's just you can set the life river just temporarily all to one color. So set it to red and then unblock it a little bit while it's at red, because you might just notice different blocks when it's set to a certain color. And it's sort of a power thing to reset the color of something that's yours, like a way of owning it. So just set your life river to red right now and clean it out at red. And then set your life river to orange right now and clean it out at orange. Set your life river to yellow, clean it out at yellow. And you can use gold sandstorm as you clean it out at yellow. Set your life river to green and clean it out at green using gold sandstorm. Set your life river to a lighter blue light or medium blue, like turquoise or light blue, and unblock it with gold sandstorm. And set your life river to a deeper blue, like cobalt blue, and unblock it at that color. And set your life river to a purple color and unblock it at purple. And set your life river temporarily to all gold and unblock it at gold using gold sandstorm from your hands or gold fire. And from what I can hear, the angels say gold for your life river as a permanent color might be a little too high to have it that color all the time. Certainly for an hour or two is fine, and then you can have it go at a rainbow color, any rainbow color, but you could just reset it to a rainbow color that you choose consciously right now. And just unblock it again at that color real quickly. All right, so that was life river unblocking, really. And we did it first in general, and then we did it color by color, red all the way up to gold. So what that does is it just gives you more access to more of your own energy. Because like I said in that metaphor in the beginning, if you're like driving and you have like this 4-wheel drive Jeep and you're stuck in the mud, that's sort of like, you're stuck in a negative pattern in your life. And so you need like an extra force to kind of get you out of that mud, so we're trying to liberate you by giving you these extra energy, more of your energy through unblocking the life river and healing the inner wounds and unburdening you as you walk forward on your spiritual path and updating your heart map. Let's specifically do flower healing. This will probably be one of the final steps in the healing. We'll do flower healing for your heart chakra and for positive change. Because what is the opposite of ending negative patterns? Because ending negative patterns is what we're trying to do, but you always want to also think of like, well, what's the positive version of that? Because it's like sometimes if you think too much of the negative, it sort of doesn't work properly. So the ending negative patterns, positive change is the opposite of ending negative patterns, right? Positive change, significant positive change, transformative positive change. The angels seem to like transformative positive change. So transformative positive change is not just like a little bit around the edges and you keep all your negative patterns, keep most of your negative patterns, but you change little tiny things, significant transformative positive change. So anyway, so let's do flower healing for that. So you can use your hands if you want, you don't have to, but you create with your intention, your mind, energy healing flowers made of universal healing energy, any rainbow color or gold. But you don't have to even think about the color. You just use your intention. But just make energy healing flowers for your heart chakra, for positive change, for transformative positive change, so that you can end your negative patterns and just, multiply these flowers by 1,000. So there's really, really a lot of them for you. It's what the energy you need for transformative positive change. And say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then go ahead and give that to your heart chakra. And if you feel like, oh, I don't know how to do what she just said, just say, angels, help me do this. If this is good for me, help me do it, right? So let's do it again. Energy healing flowers for your heart chakra for transformative positive change. And multiplying by 1,000, so you get definitely enough energy for transformative positive change, the vibration that you need of universal healing energy. Say, angels, check my flowers. And go ahead and give that to yourself, especially your heart chakra, but it'll go wherever it's needed. Deep breath. It's okay to receive. Transformative positive change. All right, cool. Just checking everybody out. Again, let's unblock your grounding. First, your physical body grounding, whatever color you want, red or orange or yellow. Just make sure they're both of the same color. Your physical body grounding, just unblock it fully. And then your astral body grounding, make that the same color, red or orange or yellow, and unblock that. And let's sort of harmonize all the chakras, the major chakras up and down the spine, because we did a little bit extra with the heart chakra, and we want all the other ones to be happy too. So just unblock all of them, heal all of them, let them all kind of talk to each other. All your major chakras along your spine. And again, just have that intention that you're giving yourself extra healing and extra unblocking so that you can end negative patterns. You can redo your buffer zones. And then you could just say, angels, can you please give me a blessing and a healing? And you can also say, angels, can you give me an extra blessing and healing so I can end my negative patterns? All right. Woohoo, we did it. So that was pretty cute. I like that. So we're done with the healing. If you have any comments that you want to text chat right now, that could be really interesting if you want. You can say, any part of the healing that you have a comment about. If you felt something, especially at a certain part, or how you feel now. And also if you could put context of if I healed you and you healed yourself, or you healed yourself and that's it, I didn't heal you. Usually that's very useful to know, because sometimes people have little code names for their YouTube IDs, so I don't have all the YouTube IDs memorized. If you have any follow-up questions on any part of the healing that we did, or about ending negative patterns, you could put that. I don't want to spend a ton of time, but we will probably spend a little bit of time if you do have a follow-up question, and I'll read through them right now. The next group healing is in 2 days. It'll be on this theme, but it will be different stuff on the same theme of ending negative patterns. So I'm catching up with what people said. I get more cute emojis. Thank you so much. A monarch butterfly. That's a nice one. Someone says, I've literally been so triggered that even this grounding is triggering me at the moment. The thing is, that grounding that we did at the start was very in-depth, and that could trigger people. But it was like that's why I was kind of saying, you can do it, because it's we did both astral and physical. We unblocked it all 3 colors, and so it's not shocking that you might have some resistance. But it's still good to do. Sometimes in energy work, the stuff that you most resist, the stuff that you don't want to do the most, is the stuff that you most need, which is unfortunate, because it's like, well, so just try to be aware of that. If something is really bugging you, you probably really need it. Anyway, someone says, hi, Janet. Someone says, I didn't even know that we had an astral body grounding until you said it in the last healing. Yep, I probably didn't mention it enough in the past. Someone says, please, how to unblock it. I already answered that one. Someone says, hi there. What are you doing? Energy healing. We are doing energy healing. I am healing 100 people that prepaid on my website before it sold out to get the healing. But then other people who are getting the healing are also healing themselves at the same time, or just people that weren't able to pay for financial reasons, or just it sold out too fast. They're healing themselves as they listen. So that's what we're doing. Someone says thank you because I had answered their question. Someone says, hi, is astral body aura and grounding few inches beyond physical body? It's not about like the inches or the size or anything with astral body. Your physical body, okay, we that's kind of more clear what that is, right? Physical body, skin, bones, right? But your physical body has an energy system though of chakras and aura and grounding and energy meridians in the physical body. So there's energy that flows through the physical body, right? But when I say your physical body grounding and your physical body aura, that's the energy centers of along your physical body spine. 7 major chakras make 7 layers of this big aura. So then you have a physical body aura, right? And you have physical body grounding because you can ground all that, right? So you can make your physical body grounding nice and wide so it grounds your physical body and your physical body aura, right? All the way down to the core of the earth. So your astral body is you as a spirit. It's the part of you that can come fully into your physical body. So it's a form that looks like a body, but you make it as a spirit. Because as a spirit, you can actually not have a form. You could be like a giant, energy ball of light, but people, as you come in, it's more practical and cool and useful to use an energy body form. So that's your astral body. It looks like a body, but you can make like your butt more muscular on your astral body in just an instant. You can make your legs, whatever. It's just it's an energy body, but it's just energy, but it's you as an eternal spirit, right? So that's you. And so your physical body is not you, but it's super important, not to diminish its importance. It's like your physical body is this sacred vessel through which you can more deeply experience everything in life. You can more deeply learn and even feel energy through your physical body. So a lot of spiritual people sort of poo-poo the physical body, and I think they're really missing a lot of the point of it. Your physical body is a sacred gift, and you can feel really cool advanced energy stuff by being in your physical body. But anyway, the part of you that's in your physical, that comes into your physical body when you wake up, that's your astral body. So it looks like a body. So you put your astral body arm in your physical body arm. You put your physical, your astral body arm in your physical body arm. Same thing with the legs, and if you get your chakras in good enough shape more and more, all your astral body chakras can fit in your physical body chakras. A lot of times it'll take time for that. Some people I'm healing, they can be fully present in physical body chakra 7654, but that's it, or 76543 or 765432. But eventually, the more of this type of work you do, the more consistently you work on yourself, that speeds up the progress. But you can be physically present in all your chakras. So your astral body chakra fits into your physical chakra, and it works within it. And so they both work together, and you get a deeper experience of life that way. So they actually fully overlap if you're really flowing and present everywhere. So there's no like a few inches beyond. It's not like that. Like your astral body fully fits in your physical body potentially, and your astral body aura fully overlaps and is in the same energy, the same physical location as your physical body aura. Same thing with your grounding. So it's not, there's no a few inches beyond. I mean, if you're half out of your body, then yeah, you know, maybe it kind of looks like you're sitting on your own shoulder. And so that could be what you're noticing. Like, oh, I feel like my astral body doesn't quite, it's not always in the same spot. And that's probably, I think you have a little bit too many blockages in your physical third, second, and first chakra at this time. Not forever. You can work on it, you know, but then once you unblock your physical 3, 2, 1 more and you heal them, then get more flow there and expand them a little bit, then you can fully fit in, and then you'll find that the auras click into place and they fully overlap everywhere. So, hope that made sense. I do have a 3-video set, 7 chakras, aura layers, flow, that goes a little more in depth if you guys are interested in like overview type information like that about chakras and the aura and stuff. That's a playlist called 7 chakras, aura layers, flow. I think I'll make sure that's linked below later. In the comment section, within a day, I'll put a detailed healing summary with timestamp links. And then below that, in that same comment, will be video links. So I'll make sure that is linked, that playlist, 7 chakras, aura layers, flow. It's a little 3-video playlist. Someone says, this is interesting. Oh, that same person. Well, good. You're welcome, welcome, welcome to watch. I do 5 of these every month. The schedule is on my website. You don't have to pay a cent to heal yourself as you watch, of course. And, you know, the themes for the whole year are posted already on my website. But each healing helps with a lot more than is indicated in the theme, since we're healing all the chakras and all the grounding and everything. It helps you in a lot of ways. That same person that had commented earlier about being triggered said they feel less triggered. Good. I often see giant cabinets from both my parents that I'm dragging behind me. LOL. Yep. Yeah. So keep handing those to your angels. And then you can use your intuition to say, well, okay, are these new cabinets like that I just got yesterday from my parents? Or is it just I wasn't ready to clear everything last time I looked? Because sometimes, you know, it's one way or the other. So that's kind of interesting to examine. Someone says, LOL, was the person whose dad and people at work dumping problems me? Dad and people at work dumping problems me? No, you weren't the person that I was looking at with that. But yeah, your dad is a dumper too. A lot of times the mom is the dumper, but I think that's why the people that have dad dumpers, it kind of stands out in my mind. So yes, you are on the dad dumper list, but I wasn't looking at you at the time. So this is how ironic. I was going to quit daily pot use today. Thanks, LOL. You know, pot is interesting. I mean, there are different types of pot. I don't smoke pot at all. But my husband does. It's legal in Washington State, so I'm not divulging any illegal behavior on his part. But now that we live in a legal pot state, he's quite the pot connoisseur of like different strains and subtle effects, and he uses just like a vaporizer, so it's like the tiniest little amount, and you know, he has this whole suite of little jars of like this effect and this effect and this effect. So, and he's in all his chakras all the time. So I mean, it's pretty rare that he's not in all his chakras, my husband. So you can be fully present and smoke pot. It's just like the amount and the type. So, but many people don't smoke pot that way, with that he does, with just like, you know, this little sort of, I don't know how to describe it, you know, it's very precise and stuff. Most people just do it to like numb out and pop out. And in that case, yeah, that would work against this type of work that we're doing to get more and more present. That would get in the way. But the way, you know, my husband's doing it, for example, doesn't get in the way of him being present and living a full creative life. So, you know, it depends. Alcohol, I haven't really seen that as like a positive. You know, the angels are kind of shaking their head. Like it's a lot less likely that alcohol in any amount would be performing a positive role in somebody's life. But weed, because it does, there are many, many, many strains that do many, many different things. And there are many forms of smoking it or ingesting it that you can, you know, really get very precise about the tiny amount and the specific effect. But you may have been doing the numb out type, in which case, yeah, it's not probably helping you get more present and move forward. Someone says, I am, oh, they say thank you. That's nice. You're welcome. So it says, this was awesome. I love the Life River Healing. I was a participant. Thanks, Janet. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, Life River Healing. I have done Life River Healing, I think in 2 other videos, like those old videos where it's just a little smaller size. Although I think those Life River ones are like 40 something minutes long, those Life River Healing videos. But if you search Janet Wright Life River Healing, you'll get some of those videos. I'll probably put Life River in this title if I can fit it. I'm so limited because these healings do so many cool things, and then I only get 100 characters to put it in the title. So anyway, and then that person said, thank you, friend. You're welcome. That's very nice of you. Someone says, I'm one of the participants. The river healing really gave me a glowy feeling. Oh, especially in my chest when you were doing it. Oh, good. Thanks for the feedback. That's good to know. A glowy feeling. Well, good. We want you to have a glowy feeling every day. Now you know, Life River Healing makes you feel glowy. Someone says, hi, you were healing me. Felt energy channels, carrying baggage on spiritual path, especially the healings at the end. The healings at the end. Maybe Life River Healing you're talking about? Or healing inner wounds? This may have cleared the deep sadness I have been feeling. Question mark, exclamation point. Well, let's hope. You can let me know in your post-healing survey that you fill out tomorrow. Someone says, thank you, Janet. I like how you distinguish grounding, aura, chakras, astral from physical body. It helps me to see and be more investigative. Yeah. That's the thing. People are like, oh, what book should I read to learn more? Read yourself. There's like infinite amount of things you can learn by reading yourself. So, I mean, you know, you may think, oh, I can't read, Janet. I'm a beginner. What are you talking about? But just wing it. Because you have abilities from past lives, and you've probably studied spiritual practices in past lives too. So don't be so stuck on like, well, you've been only doing Janet's videos for 3 weeks, so you can't do any of this, you know. Just wing it. Go for it. But yeah, it's true. There's so much to investigate, so much kind of interesting stuff you could find in all these different places in your energy field. But some people just do the glass half empty version. They're like, Janet, you're telling me too much detail. If the detail's freaking you out, just blow it off. Just do the basics. Or repair and grounding. Or repair and grounding. Those are your 2 absolute basics so that you make the most of your day. So it says, I too liked, oh, that same person. I too like the present and past life burdens in the path. Yeah, clearing burdens that you were dragging behind you on the path, especially visualizing them behind you. I'm so used to seeing them in front of me in the path. Yeah. It's funny, the stuff that you're dragging behind you, a lot of times you're even less aware of that, and so it can be just like totally crazy amounts of baggage that's behind you. They're just like brute forcing yourself forward, dragging. So yeah. Cool. Glad it helped. So it says, receive the healing. Thank you. Is there something specific you can recommend to help me with comfort eating? It has gotten better, but still ongoing. Well, okay. So you're not a newbie. So what I would do is give you homework, you know, suggest homework, let's say. But, you know, look at yourself when you're not feeling like you need to comfort eat, and compare that to when you feel like you need to comfort eat. Look at your grounding, physical body grounding, astral body grounding. What's different? Look at your, you know, the flow of, you know, how many chakras are you present in, you know, when you don't feel like comfort eating and when you do feel like comfort eating. You know, look at how big your aura is, how flowing it is in both states. Because generally comfort eating is is a symptom, a really annoying symptom, a really inconvenient symptom, really, for some people, very embarrassing and shame-filled symptom. But it's like the effect of something that's been sort of like, you've probably been getting stuck for like an hour and a half, and then at the end of that hour and a half, now you're shoving chips into your mouth or something. So the idea is to understand all that came before that. It's not really about the chips. It's about that, you know, your grounding got blocked up, and then your mom corded your core energy blocks so that your brain was about to explode, and then you inhale a bag of chips. You know, so probably, you know, for anybody, if they redo their grounding and then they get people out of their core energy blocks, so you just imagine core energy blocks like bricks out in front of you, and just get everybody out of your core energy blocks. Just melt cords, you know, say, angels help me with boundaries, and you know, then you can back away from the chips. Also, the thing is, quantity, you know, like, I mean, this is just a standard thing that they would tell you in sort of like some sort of eating program or something, but, you know, moderating the amount that you have access to. So like, say if you're going to eat some chips, you know, get a small bowl and then put the chips into a small bowl and close up the chip bag and put it away, and then go somewhere else with your small bowl. You know, because even if you know how to work your chakras and your aura and your grounding and melt cords and get people out of your core energy blocks, it's still simple stuff like that is important as well. All right, cool. So I will put a space on your survey about your post-healing survey, if you were one of the 100 people. What are your negative patterns? Because I'm curious about the negative patterns that people are conscious of. Because I can see some negative patterns that, you know, probably people are not conscious of, but I want to know, what are you conscious of as far as your negative patterns that you're trying to end? So that will be a question on the post-healing survey. So if you could please take a minute with that, that would be appreciated. Okay, cool. So the next healing, like I said, is in 2 days. It will be also on this in negative patterns, and then another one in 2 days after that. So Friday, Sunday, Tuesday healings. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome, and good job. Bye. Oh, we'll do an animal cam at the end. Let's see, I can show you. Bambi is over here. There's Bambi. She's cleaning herself right there on top of the microwave. And then there's Moki. He's ignoring me, but he's on top of the cat tree right there, the black cat. And let's see, Izzy's in a dog carrier. I think I can open that up real quickly so you can see Izzy. See that dog carrier right there? So I will be opening that. That's where Izzy is. One of my beagles, one of our beagles. So hopefully you saw him. So he's on the camera. Let's see. Izzy! Oh, he's drinking water now. Izzy, busy! Izzy, come here. Let's see. There's Izzy. And there's Abel walking around. He walks in circles round and round and round. Here's Izzy again. Let's see. There we go. There's Izzy. And there's Abel making his way around the kitchen again. Going round and round and round and round. All right, guys. You're awesome. Bye.